This Chinese robot recently made a real breakthrough. It's Unry, a humanoid robot that can walk faster than a human. It can walk and even run at a speed of 12 kilometers per hour, approximately 7.5 miles per hour, covering 10 kilometers in 50 minutes. Due to its advanced mobility capabilities, it can lift boxes, adeptly climb up and down stairs, and even perform vertical jumps. Moreover, it can communicate with humans through speech and gestures, which makes us forget after a while that it is a machine. This is despite the fact that it is currently unable to mimic typical human behavior. The modular structure of the robot allows it to be adapted to the user's needs, and the company plans to add arms to the robot soon, further expanding its capabilities. Thus, the H1 will be able to perform even more complex tasks, such as operating tools or equipment. The price of the H1 is approximately $150,000. In Russia, as well as worldwide, active robotization has begun. For instance, a female robot will be working at a tourist center in Perm. This is the first case in Russia where an android replaces an office employee. The humanoid's face was formed by a neural network based on 2,000 photographs of Russian women. It can imitate around 600 emotions. The robot's tasks include assisting visitors in creating their tourist routes. The humanoid android was created by the Russian company Promobot and has already begun its duties. As mentioned earlier, this is the first case in Russia where a female model Robo-C replaces an office employee. The robot greets visitors, answers their questions, and provides recommendations for creating a tourist route. It also works on increasing the number of visitors to the portal visit perm.ru. The android can communicate in multiple languages and entertain visitors. It has facial muscles, allowing it to mimic over 600 emotions. The face of the new center employee was formed by a neural network based on 200 photographs of Russian women. Chinese social media reports the arrival of the first 1,000 invisible military suits in the People's Liberation Army of China. There is no official confirmation, but it is known that 2 years ago, Chinese scientists came close to creating this revolutionary technology. The idea of an invisibility coat may seem more like magic than science, but researchers are diligently working on creating devices that can scatter and bend light, making the objects behind them invisible. Previously, such devices attempted to be made based on metamaterials. These materials have new properties not found in naturally occurring substances or in individual particles of material. But working with them is difficult, so the decision was made to use molybdenum trioxide. This material could become an excellent platform for controlling energy flows, thanks to its unique properties. Modeling results showed that rolled-up sheets of molybdenum trioxide would replace metamaterials. It already demonstrates nearly perfect invisibility. A humanoid robot has been accused of harassment towards a journalist. At the Deepfest Festival in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where the local company QSS presented its first humanoid robot named Muhammad, a curious incident occurred. The robot allegedly began touching the reporter without permission. It is reported that Al Arabiya journalist Ravia Qasem was conducting a live report in front of the robot, dressed in traditional Saudi attire and speaking Arabic and English. Suddenly, Muhammad unexpectedly reached out and touched her back without permission. In a viral video, Qasem can be seen sternly looking at the humanoid and raising her hand, seemingly warning that such behavior is not acceptable, before continuing her presentation. QSS attempted to justify its robot's actions by stating that it was fully autonomous and acted independently without direct control from a human. According to the organizers, all attendees were warned about the need to maintain a safe distance from the robot. After reviewing the footage of the incident, allegedly no deviations in Muhammad's behavior were found. However, QSS promised to take additional measures to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. Researchers from Pennsylvania State University have successfully printed multi-layered living skin directly onto an open wound using a 3D printer for the first time. The printed skin has the potential to regenerate hair follicles, which is already unique. Anatomically, skin consists of 3 layers: the outer epidermis, the middle dermis, and the deepest layer, the hypodermis. The last one, made up of connective tissue and fat, provides structure and protective support to the skull. It is here that hair follicles begin to grow. To create one component of bioink, researchers used human adipose tissue, extracting a network of protein molecules, extracellular matrix, which provides tissue structure and stability. The second component was stem cells obtained from adipose tissue. The third consisted of a blood clotting solution containing fibrinogen, which helped other components bind to the damaged area. A bioprinter with 3 compartments allowed scientists to simultaneously print a mixture of matrix and fibrinogen, along with stem cells with precise control. The fact that the printing occurred directly from the open wound contributed to the formation of the hypodermis, which aids in healing, regulating temperature, forming hair follicles, and much more. Such technology could significantly aid in the recovery of individuals after head injuries. The American humanoid robotics startup, Magic Lab, can boast of its prototype of a new electric two-legged robot. He is capable of performing forward somersaults, an engineering feat that, according to the company, is a first of its kind, challenging the same movements as the Atlas robot from Boston Dynamics. The Silicon Valley startup launched last year primarily works discreetly on creating a lineup of electrically driven humanoid robots. The company stated that it has developed motor connections and drives for its robots to provide them with a high level of mobility and balance, as evidenced by the robot's ability to perform somersaults. According to the company, potential applications for its robots include search and rescue operations, logistics and transportation, industrial automation and entertainment. However, the robot's design is still in the development stage. The American startup Figure AI has managed to astonish the world with its humanoid robot Figure 01, designed to eventually replace humans in performing heavy mechanical work. The company is rapidly advancing the project, teaching the robot to walk with balance in less than a year. Recently, the Figure robot learned to perform tasks solely based on observing humans. The American startup stated that its robot can observe how people perform tasks, analyze them, and then autonomously carry out the same tasks. For example, Figure 01 was able to autonomously brew coffee after studying videos for 10 hours without any programmed instructions. Additionally, in a recent video, the company demonstrated how the robot independently moves boxes from one place to another in an improvised warehouse. And recently, the Figure 01 demonstrated the ability to recognize speech, answer questions, and follow commands, interacting with humans. To achieve this, Figure engineers combined the capabilities of the robot with a visual linguistic model developed by OpenAI. Meet one of the most beautiful robots, Grace, the first nurse robot that can help and empathize. The nurse robot, named Grace, combines the precision of advanced robotics to collect accurate, real-time data with the empathy and compassion that traditionally only the human touch can provide. The robot can recognize and respond to the 7 human emotions, mirror their facial expressions, and speak fluently English and Korean. Grace was developed as a companion for elderly patients in elderly care facilities. Her main function is to alleviate loneliness and improve patients' mental health by interacting with them and providing a variety of uplifting activities, such as talk therapy and guided meditation. For example, she can listen to seniors' life stories, record them, and pass them on to others, or help patients connect with their families through digital technology. Grace can also perform basic health checks, such as taking a patient's temperature, pulse, and blood pressure, and transmit that data to a medical worker. Its advanced artificial intelligence systems will also help doctors and nurses make more accurate diagnoses, such as for neurodegenerative diseases. This Chinese robot named Jia Jia looks no different from a living woman. It was developed by specialists from the University of Science and Technology of China, located in Hefei. The interactive robot can talk and move, possesses articulation and facial expressions. Its development took 3 years. According to the project leader, compared to previous models, the new robot differs in that it can naturally move its eyeballs, and its speech is precisely synchronized with lip movements. Currently, Jia Jia cannot cry or laugh, but researchers are already working in this direction. Of course, the external similarity to a human is not the only focus of developers' efforts. In particular, they want to teach the robot to recognize facial expressions, which will deepen interaction with humans. The project leader called the development invaluable and stated that mass production of such robots is not planned. From April 21st to 23rd, Jia Jia will be on display at the China International Technology Fair in Shanghai. The Actroid series robots are the most human-like robots in the world. For example, the Sarah model from the Actroid series can mimic the facial expressions of a person who makes eye contact with it. For 5 years, Japanese companies Kokoro and ATR have been working on creating a humanoid robot that closely resembles a human. The robot is designed to assist in the duties of a caregiver or junior nurse, and can be used in hospitals and other places where interaction with humans is required. The model is capable of moving its eyes, opening and closing its mouth, tilting its head, nodding, smiling, simulating breathing, and bending. Essentially, Actroid is a charming robot girl that almost perfectly mimics the appearance of a human. It's worth noting that each Actroid doesn't resemble the previous model, but the appearance of each robot woman is based on an averaged image of several young Japanese women, making each model unique. Scientists claim that in the future, such robots may even be able to administer simple exams and replace low-skilled personnel. Amazon has also decided to keep up with trends by incorporating humanoid robots called Digit, developed by Agility Robotics, into its warehouses. These robots are capable of performing all the movements that regular human packers and sorters can, including intricate hand and finger motions. If the experiment proves successful, these two-legged robots could potentially replace at least 450,000 warehouse employees in the future. However, Amazon denies allegations that robotic devices could replace human workers, stating that Digit will assist the staff. In the initial phase of the experimental project, humanoid robots will be tasked with container disposal, specifically locating and moving empty containers. Digit is well suited for this role, with its dimensions and humanoid form optimized for working in spaces designed for humans. Agility Robotics is receiving funding from Amazon, and the company plans to establish a new facility for robot production in Salem, Oregon. Agility's plan involves an annual production of over 10,000 robotic devices. While Digit has been an experimental project for several years, this status is expected to change soon. In 2024, Agility Robotics aims to commence robot deliveries to partners, and a year later, the general public will have the opportunity to purchase Digit. The Dutch company Drone Gods, in collaboration with the Red Bull Formula One team, has created the world's fastest FPV drone for capturing racing competitions at the pace of racing cars. Custom-built, the drone is capable of reaching speeds of 350 km per hour, accelerating from 100 to 300 km per hour in just 2 seconds. It can navigate the track alongside the race cars, handling turns, accelerations, and braking, enduring peak loads of up to 6G. The development, prototyping, and final version creation of the drone took about a year. All components of the quadcopter's body and frame were manufactured either of carbon fiber on special machines or through 3D printing. The electronics and motors were off the shelf, but manufacturers made various enhancements as requested by the engineers, both to the engines and control schemes. Over time, all of this will appear on the market in commercial products. The weight of the drone was kept within 1 kilogram. For a device accelerating to 217 miles per hour, enduring loads of up to 6G and averaging 2 to 3G, weight is crucial. During development, the drone's weight was reduced by 10% from the weight of the initial prototypes. Testing showed that the drone could complete a 5.8-kilometer track at maximum settings for electronics, motors, and batteries without overheating to critical conditions. Moreover, it ran alongside the RB20 Red Bull Formula One car, sometimes even overtaking the racing car. It is undeniable that the drone operator required reflexes and reactions comparable to those of a racing driver, if not even faster. After 2 previous failures by SpaceX, Elon Musk's company succeeded in launching a prototype of the Starship rocket into Earth's orbit on March 14, 2024. Eventually, it is intended to carry astronauts to the Moon, and then even further, to Mars. In the course of the previous 2 attempts on April 20th and November 18th of last year, the rockets exploded. This time, the launch from the spaceport near Boca Chica Beach, Texas, went off without incidents. All 33 engines of the Super Heavy booster of the giant 122-meter rocket worked flawlessly, after which it separated from the main part. SpaceX plans to test the opening and closing of the Starship payload bay to verify its ability to deliver satellites and other cargo into space. The company also intends to relaunch engines in space to conduct onboard tests, and then in the future, Starship spacecraft could refuel each other directly in orbit. It is expected that Starship will orbit half the Earth, after which it will decelerate in the atmosphere and freely fall into the Indian Ocean. Soft landing is a goal for future tests. The Toyota Research Institute delighted all robotics enthusiasts with a new robot. The company's projects are always unconventional and interesting, which is why we follow them with special pleasure. The new soft humanoid robot, Toyota Puno, is designed to gently hug and carry bulky objects with its entire body, just like a human. The robot, with its genuinely cute and friendly appearance, is dressed in a large, cozy sweater made of special materials filled with tactile sensors. These sensors assist Puno in precisely feeling what it is hugging, whether it's a person or an object it is carrying. The robot has large, soft paws, as the engineers themselves call them, consisting of 13 air-filled chambers whose pressure can be adjusted. They end with inflatable cushions with a pattern inside, controlled by cameras. When the robot touches something, the pattern deforms, and Puno understands what it has touched. Engineers train Puno using teleoperation to manipulate various large objects nearby. Sometimes the robot needs to lean forward to pick up an item, sometimes lean back, and sometimes throw it over its shoulder, for example. Developers also place items in the robot's hands and observe how it moves to hold them. In September 2023, Toyota was one of the first companies to demonstrate robot training through demonstrations. The robots were given several examples of how to perform dozens of different culinary tasks. Then they tried to replicate the actions of a human in a simulated environment for hours, and afterward demonstrated the acquired skills in reality. Puno uses the same training process but with an included element. Engineers rank variables for the robot, giving preference in different tasks to precision, speed, or efficiency. Many future projects are associated with space. For example, the first space hotel by Above Space was supposed to open in 2027. Initially, its opening was planned for 2025, but a year ago, the company realized that they were falling slightly behind schedule. Actually, even by 2027, they were a bit overambitious, but the project is alive, and a series of tests is scheduled for this year. Now, about the project itself. There will actually be 2 hotels. The first one, Pioneer Station, is designed for just 28 very wealthy people. It is supposed to be operational by 2027. To make visitors more comfortable, artificial gravity will be simulated, and its force can be adjusted. The second project is more ambitious, Prometheus. The station is designed to accommodate 400 guests simultaneously. The company claims that the luxuries in this hotel can be purchased and lived in, rather than just booked. The rooms themselves, or rather the space villas, will have an area of 500 square meters, 3 bathrooms, and bedrooms for 16 guests. It's very difficult to imagine the cost of such a project. Whether these plans will ever be realized is a big question, especially since the company has not yet announced the presence of major investors. Nevertheless, Above Space will soon begin research on the International Space Station. The company will test the strength and durability of its patented materials. Samples will be attached to panels outside the station to test in harsh space conditions, whether they can withstand the harsh vacuum, solar radiation, extreme temperatures, and encounters with space debris. Earlier, the company announced successful tests of the Prometheus Orbital Propulsion Control System, which took place at NASA's Huntsville Space Flight Center. At Green Tech in 2022, Organofarms unveiled Berry, its strawberry harvesting robot, capturing the Green Tech Innovation Award in the concept category. Since then, the company has been diligently enhancing the robot and refining the minimal viable product, MVP. According to Hannah, Chief Communications Officer at Organofarms, the robot's speed has increased, although it has yet to reach its ultimate velocity, which will be fine-tuned during the winter months. Furthermore, Berry now boasts enhanced storage capacity, capable of accommodating 4 crates containing up to 20 kilograms of fruits, 44 pounds, before unloading its cargo. Organofarms is steadfastly advancing the robot's navigation capabilities to ensure seamless maneuverability within the plant canopy, facilitating fruit harvesting while minimizing stem and leaf damage. Our robot can now autonomously transition between rows, a feat it couldn't accomplish upon its initial launch. We are still optimizing picking speed, aiming for 10 kilograms, 22 pounds, per hour, inclusive of all travel time and crate exchanges. Additionally, our battery will sustain operations for 12 hours, elaborates Hannah. We've refined cluster navigation for navigating through tight spaces and improved the picking process, adds Hannah Brown, Organofarms' Chief Communications Officer. In Japan, a replica of the famous writer has been created in the form of a robot. An android of the writer Natsu Soseki was created for the 100th anniversary of his death. A group of scientists from Nisagakusha University and Hiroshi Ishiguro's team, the most famous creator of humanoid robots in Japan from Osaka University, worked on it. To make the android resemble Natsu Soseki as closely as possible, his photographs, height and weight data, posthumous mask, and even the voice of his grandson were used. The android will be used for educational purposes, particularly for reading Natsu Soseki's works aloud to children, as well as for developing speech abilities and dialogue skills in this type of robots. HRP-4C, also known as MEME, is a Japanese humanoid robot that is the embodiment of an average young woman. Created at the Japan National Institute of Science and Technology in collaboration with Kawada Industries and Kokoro, it was first unveiled in 2009. The HRP-4C weighs 43 kilograms, 94 pounds, with batteries, and stands 158 centimeters tall. It was tested as a runway model and as a pop singer. The robot is equipped with a large number of motors that provide walking and arm movement. In addition, it understands human speech and can carry on a conversation on its own. And thanks to micromotors implanted under the skin, face, and neck, HRP-4C can demonstrate various expressions of human feelings. 30 electric motors are responsible for the robot's smooth movement, another 8 control facial expressions. MEME can recognize words addressed to her and interpret surrounding sounds. Its applications include the entertainment industry and industries that also require realistic analogs of the human body. The European Parliament has voted in favor of the Artificial Intelligence Act, which prohibits the use of artificial intelligence with unacceptable risks and introduces regulation for less dangerous types of AI. Under the new rules, the European Parliament prohibits certain applications of artificial intelligence that threaten the rights of citizens. This includes biometric categorization systems, a ban on extracting facial images from the internet or surveillance camera recordings to create facial recognition databases. Emotional recognition in the workplace and schools, social scoring, and policing activities based solely on profiling individuals or their characteristics are also prohibited. Artificial intelligence that manipulates people's behavior or exploits their vulnerabilities is also banned. The legislation classifies artificial intelligence into 4 risk categories: unacceptable risk, high risk, limited risk, and minimal risk. High-risk artificial intelligence systems will undergo strict scrutiny before they are released to the market. These requirements include adequate risk assessment and mitigation systems, registration of activities to ensure traceability of outcomes, human oversight measures, and others. Chinese company Lenovo demonstrated a prototype laptop with a transparent display at the recently held MWC 2024 exhibition. Who would ever need a transparent screen? Only the Chinese would know. As Lenovo said, such a laptop may be useful for specialists in working with photos and graphics. An architect, having placed such a laptop in front of the landscape he is interested in, will be able to create a sketch of the future building without taking his eyes off the screen. But that's not all. It turns out that on the outside of the laptop cover is a camera that recognizes the objects behind him, and this allows, according to Lenovo, to work with augmented reality technologies. The prototype laptop does not have a physical keyboard. Instead, on a glass surface, displays a virtual keyboard, which turns off automatically when the user moves away from the computer. This surface can be used to draw and doodle with the included stylus. Tesla and its new Cybertruck have some serious problems. You already know that the mass production of pickup trucks started only a few months ago, and there are not very many owners of these cars yet. And despite their small number, some people have already started complaining that the car made of stainless steel began to rust. At all, this pickup does not need to be drowned in the sea or tears of the owners themselves. It is enough ordinary rain. This problem was raised by users of the forum called cybertruckownersclub.com. A user of the site with the nickname Raxar started a thread with a complaint that soon after he received his new Cybertruck, the car was parked for 2 days in the rain, and it was enough to make small rust spots appear on the body. And that's the kind of rust many people complain about. Other owners have shared their stories too. Forum users decided to document this and bring it to Tesla's attention. And imagine what turned up. It turns out that the Cybertruck's owner's manual states right up front that the body panels of a car built with stainless steel can corrode under certain circumstances, and in our case, it's simple rain. However, while no vehicle is completely corrosion resistant, the rate at which Cybertruck owners have encountered rust doesn't bode well for the company. PAL Robotics has updated its robotic assistant Tiago. The new version of Tiago Pro has more dexterous and precise series elastic actuators arms, which are also quite long, as well as a more expressive face for human interaction. Also, the robot designed to assist medical personnel is now equipped with safety brakes in all joints of the arms. The developers claim increased efficiency and productivity due to improved machine learning algorithms. We are waiting for the first deployments to see what all this brings to the robot and its owners in reality. Xiaomi has officially unveiled its first electric vehicle, the Xiaomi Su7. The base version of the car provides an incredible range of 668 kilometers, while the premium version offers 800 kilometers. Earlier, Xiaomi announced that mass production of the Su7 would begin in the first half of 2024. After the official announcement, it became known that the car would be released in 2 versions, Su7 and Su7 Max. The base rear-wheel drive model Su7 features a V6 engine developed by Xiaomi. The car can accelerate to 100 km per hour in 5.28 seconds. The Su7 is equipped with a Qilin battery providing a range of 668 kilometers. In China, the Su7 will compete with the Porsche Taycan and Tesla Model S. Xiaomi intends to enter the top 5 automotive companies in the world within the next 15 to 20 years. The electric vehicle will hit the market in early 2024. However, the manufacturer has not yet announced the price of the Su7 and Su7 Max. Video footage of secret British laser weapon trials has emerged. The UK Ministry of Defence has decided to release footage captured during trials of the classified Dragonfire laser weapon, which took place in January of this year in Scotland. The video provides insights into the prototype's design and demonstrates the target acquisition system's capabilities in action. The second-generation laser weapon based on Dragonfire technology will be capable of engaging fast-moving drones on land and at sea. The Dragonfire project has been under development by British military engineers since 2017, but details were strictly classified until now. It was revealed that the weapon's precision allows it to hit a 1-pound coin from a kilometer away, with each shot costing approximately $13. The video was released recently by the Defense Science and Technology Laboratory, DSTL. Despite the successful trials, Dragonfire will not be deployed in the British Army and Royal Navy. It is an experimental prototype, upon which the second generation of laser weapons will be developed. Its appearance is expected in about 5 years. Sophia is the most famous humanoid robot developed by Hanson Robotics in 2015. The face of the British actress Audrey Hepburn was used as a model during its creation. Sophia can mimic human facial expressions and respond to some questions. She is also capable of learning and improving herself. She is the first robot to receive citizenship. Currently, Sophia cannot experience the same emotions as humans and depends on engineers to maintain her functionality. But in her brief history, she has already made headlines in global media, given numerous interviews to leading publications, participated in UN activities, performed at concerts, and even received citizenship of Saudi Arabia. This unique humanoid robot significantly differs from typical metal machines we are accustomed to. On the outside, Sophia closely resembles a human and has rich facial expressions. She uses artificial intelligence, visual data processing, and facial recognition, constantly learning something new and cracking jokes. For today, Sophia is programmed to communicate in Russian and English. The robot Cloud Ginger from Cloudminds Technologies will not only serve as a household assistant, but also a decent companion. The android can brew coffee and vacuum. However, besides its utilitarian skills, the robot also possesses creative abilities. For instance, it can put on a show featuring traditional Beijing opera, entertaining others with songs and dances. Recently, the company released a video in which the Cloud Ginger robot autonomously made coffee. In reality, the human brain contains about 100 billion neurons, enabling us to make decisions easily and enjoy a cup of coffee. However, for robots, even with the use of the most advanced chip technologies, a powerful computer weighing 1,000,000 times more than the human brain would be required. The robot barista Ginger uses mobile network to link up with the cloud. He not only learns to make coffee but also understands and processes complex languages and commands. Many people have been impressed by this amazing invention, noting that robots are becoming smarter and functionable. The British company Engineered Arts has released a video showcasing an android from the Mesmer project, capable of displaying various facial expressions. The Mesmer robot operates on the company's Tritium operating system, simplifying programming and enabling remote control. Interestingly, the company's robots are also equipped with telepresence software called Tinman, allowing owners to interact with people around the robot from a different location. Engineered Arts claims that no technical knowledge is required to control Mesmer, as it can be authorized through a browser or any internet-enabled device. Elon Musk himself reacted to a video from the Mesmer project, stating that real androids will be here soon. The company describes its Mesmer robots as expressive like nothing else, capable of displaying a vast range of human emotions. Each Mesmer robot is designed and built based on internal 3D scans of real people, allowing for authentic imitation of human bone structure, skin texture, and facial expressions. In the featured video, 2 Mesmer heads with synchronized movements are showcased, one with artificial skin and hair, and the other revealing open components below. The robots are designed for easy animation, targeting artists and creatives rather than software developers. The accompanying software enables the robot's owner to drag specific movements onto a 3D computer model of the robot, which can instantly reproduce them. This allows for remote animation via the internet. Engineered Arts believes that Mesmer, combining animatronics with robotic sensors, firmware, and control software, offers a superior solution compared to mixing components from various suppliers that often do not work well together. The base equipment is designed to be easily accessible without risking damage to the artificial skin layer. But that's not all the news from Chinese car manufacturer NIO. The company showed how the future ET9 sedan will cope with snow. The method of any four-legged friend from absolutely any yard was taken as a basis. NIO has taught its car how to shake off snow. Residents of cold regions face the problem of snow removal, not only in relation to the areas and roads on which vehicles must travel. In just a few hours of intense snowfall, a snowdrift can accumulate on the body of a vehicle. NIO proposes to destroy it due to rhythmic movements of electronically controlled shock absorbers, causing transverse sway of the body. In any case, if there is no one inside the car and all fragile objects are well secured, such a trick should not harm anyone. NIO ET9 should become a premium model of the brand. The cost of this sedan starts at $112,000. If everything goes according to plan, the deliveries of production cars will start not earlier than next year, just in time for the middle of the next winter season. the onboard 900-volt network will allow the car to fill up to 255 kilometers or 158 miles of range in just 5 minutes of charging at an express station. Optimus Gen 2 from Tesla is the new generation two-legged humanoid robot that can walk, dance, and manipulate various objects quickly. The manufacturer has announced that the innovation will soon be able to replace humans in some types of work. According to the company's statement, the robot is a universal bipedal humanoid capable of performing tasks that are dangerous, monotonous, or boring for humans. Compared to the old version, the robot has improved balancing capabilities, increased speed by 30%, and reduced weight by 10 kilograms. Moreover, Tesla's development is now trained in dancing and handling fragile items, including even chicken eggs. The company indicated that Optimus Gen 2 is equipped with drives and sensors created specifically for it, resulting in its neck having 2 degrees of freedom and its hands having 11 of them, ensuring smoother and swifter movements. The hyper-realistic robot Einstein from the University of California, San Diego, has learned to smile and express facial expressions through a self-learning process. Researchers at the University of California used machine learning to teach their robot to make realistic facial expressions. Robots' faces are becoming increasingly realistic, and the number of artificial muscles controlling them is growing. Researchers at the University of California's Machine Perception Lab are studying the face and head of their robot Einstein to find ways to automate the process of teaching robots to make realistic facial expressions. Einstein's robot head has about 30 facial muscles. Each of them is driven by a tiny servo motor connected to the muscle by a string. Robot Einstein recognizes a range of human facial expressions and can react accordingly. Scientists see it as an unprecedented tool for understanding how robots and humans perceive emotions, as well as a potential platform for education, entertainment, visual arts, and even cognitive therapy. German automaker Mercedes-Benz and humanoid robot developer Actroid have announced an agreement to collaborate in exploring applications for advanced robotics in Mercedes-Benz production. Under the agreement, Mercedes-Benz is launching a pilot project to test the capabilities of the humanoid robot Apollo from Actroid for various tasks in automobile production, such as delivering assembly kits to the production line while simultaneously checking components. Future plans include evaluating Apollo's abilities to deliver parts kits at later stages of the production process. According to the press release, the use of humanoid robots will help companies like Mercedes-Benz to deploy robotics optimized for working in human environments, allowing them to forego costly full-scale facility upgrades primarily for robot use rather than human use. The humanoid robot Apollo stands at 173 centimeters tall, weighs 73 kilograms, and has the ability to lift loads weighing up to 25 kilograms. It is designed to work in industrial spaces alongside humans. Additionally, Apollo's computational capabilities will enable the expansion of usage scenarios with the help of AI beyond its original purpose.